You are watching this to answer questions about getting into college, and you may want to know what you have to do in high school to prepare. You may wonder about standardized tests. You probably have questions about the application process. Finally, you probably want information about financial aid. You probably feel overwhelmed by all this, but let's take things one step at a time. Why should you go to college? Our society values education. Statistically speaking, a 4-year bachelor's degree will increase your salary by 61%. If you need motivation when things become difficult or complicated, remember that the effort you put in now will help you for the rest of your working life. Besides the financial incentive, the college experience is rewarding in other ways. In college, you can make new friends, discover yourself, and explore new ideas. Now let's address the first question. What should you do in high school to prepare for college? Sophomores should take a rigorous schedule. AP at the junior level, if possible. Honors courses. These weighted classes enhance your GPA and show colleges that you're serious about academics. You should always pay attention to your grades. Colleges certainly will. You will need to fulfill your school's graduation requirements. Now would also be a great time to look at the entrance requirements for local universities, state schools, and anywhere else you might want to apply. Take the PSAT in the fall. This is set up through your high school, so ask your counselor for more information. Juniors should take AP or honors courses, as well as some AP tests. In the fall, go over some test materials by yourself or enroll in a test prep course. A wide variety of test prep books are available for you to use on your own to familiarize yourself with the format and subjects of the test. Take the SAT or ACT in the spring. Get involved in extracurricular activities if you haven't done so already. There's no need to pack your schedule. Just pick one or two things that interest you. Admissions officers find it more impressive if a candidate is truly involved and dedicated to a few activities rather than superficially interested in a dozen activities. If you haven't taken the SAT or ACT yet, or if you think you can improve your test score, this fall is your last chance to do so. You should also visit some college campuses, do some research online, and talk to alumni. Most likely you will apply after the first quarter of your senior year. Check deadlines carefully. They vary widely and may be far earlier or later than you might assume. After you've been accepted, talk to the college's financial aid officer and fill out the FAFSA. Keep up your grades. If your grades change dramatically, you can have your acceptance rescinded. Let's take a look now at the SAT and ACT. Both of these tests are designed to help college admission officers predict if you are ready for college-level coursework. Whether these tests actually predict that is open to debate. However, the reality is that the majority of colleges do require for you to take at least one of them. Just make sure you don't inflate the importance of standardized tests. Schools will look at your test scores, but many will also place equal weight or more weight on your grades. In general, colleges on the West Coast and in the Northeast require the SAT, while the rest of the country requires the ACT. Most schools will accept scores from either test, but make sure that any schools you apply to don't require a specific test. If either test will do for the admission process, consider which one will help you make the best use of your strengths. The ACT tests a greater breadth of subjects, while the SAT tests a narrower focus. The ACT, however, has fewer traps than the SAT. If possible, consider taking both tests and submitting the higher of your two scores. As you can see, the ACT covers a wide range of subjects. Except for the writing test, all questions are multiple choice. The English section has 75 questions, math has 60 questions, and reading and science have 40 questions each. The complete test takes 2 hours and 55 minutes, with an additional 40 minutes allotted for the writing test. You should check with individual colleges to determine if they require the writing test option. The SAT also tests the competency in the areas of writing, math, and critical reading. The writing section includes an essay and multiple choice questions that test standard written English. The math section covers topics through third year high school math, including exponential growth, absolute value, functional notation, linear equations, functions, exponents, and tangent lines. The critical reading section includes short reading passages of approximately 100 words, long reading passages of 500 to 800 words, and sentence completion questions. Analogies are not included. Taking the PSAT is probably the best way to prepare for the SAT. In addition, you should familiarize yourself with the timing and the format of the test, review some test preparation materials, or take a course if possible. Here are some proven ways to improve your test scores. Take the most rigorous class schedule with which you feel comfortable. This will improve your test scores and prepare you for college-level coursework. Include extra classes in subjects like math, science, and English. Pick up a book and read in your spare time. This will help you improve your reading comprehension, speed, and vocabulary. For more information on the ACT, visit www.act.org. The SAT-PSAT website is www.collegeboard.com. These websites offer detailed information about the test, including suggestions on how best to prepare. Generally speaking, two of the most important considerations for college admissions and academic scholarships are grade point averages and ACT/SAT scores. If you already have a high GPA, congratulations! You've made things a lot easier for yourself. If you take AP or honors courses, many colleges will weight them. Thus, getting a B+ in a difficult course will count more than getting an A- in an easier course. If you didn't do as well in your freshman and sophomore years as you believe you could have, turning your GPA around in your junior and senior years will have an impact on your admission. Also, if you have a learning disability or something else in your life that has hurt your academics, you should mention it in your personal essay or have a counselor or other adult describe it in your letters of recommendation. Admission officers don't just look for someone who has a perfect GPA and perfect test scores. They want well-rounded individuals or people who have overcome some difficulties. After you've won acceptance to a college, don't slack off for the rest of your senior year. Many college acceptance letters are contingent on you maintaining your current GPA. If you have a low GPA and low test scores, you still have a variety of options. Depending on where you are in your high school career, you may have time to turn your grades around. Don't give up just because your first 2 years of grades aren't as high as other students' grades. Keep trying. Many colleges are impressed by students who manage to significantly raise their GPAs in their junior and senior years. Also, remember that there are thousands of colleges in the U.S., and many good schools will accept students with lower than average grades and test scores. Take a look at community colleges as another option. If you have questions about any of the information in this presentation, please contact one of the counselors in the Counseling Center.